his feeling that there's no one being mistreated, and it's his feeling because we have access to people's cell phones there, and they actually call here. And there was one interesting thing. Like the first guy I asked a question, literally almost said, "Nothing happening here, nothing wrong here," you know. And then like the second person said something like, "Wish the Hmong Americans would leave us alone," which, you know, that sounded like something he was definitely pre-screened to say. But the third one actually really got off the message because he said he had called home and or he had called the United States and he talked to his relatives and he wants to keep talking to them. So they weren't, I don't think they were terribly happy with him. And it was a very clearly a dog and pony show, but not one that was run very effectively.
Thank you, Senator.
Is this the Lao authority allow you to talk to the Hmong official in Laos regarding the issue?
Say that, I'm sorry, repeat that.
Is the Lao authority allow you to have connection or company with the Hmong official in Laos talking about the issue about the Hmong reputation?
No, I wasn't really there long enough to do to do that. What happened was we arrived in the evening, had dinner at the embassy with the ambassador. We did not have, as I remember it, we didn't have anyone representing the Hmong community there at that time. The next day went to the camp and I did a few things in addition to meeting with the Lao Deputy Prime Minister concerning some international groups that are there.
Okay. Is the Lao government accept donation from other countries to support the Hmong people in the camp?
Actually, that's a good point. Thank you for raising that, because we raised that we want to create a clinic there, a health clinic, and that could be implemented or run by an international organization. And we raised that a number of times with them, and we hope that comes to pass. So yes, we've talked about, you know, there's some dispute with the general wants just us to pave roads. And we want, so well, if you're going to give us assistance, help us pave roads. And we want, no, we want it to be for this camp, and we want to provide a clinic. But I think that
and service for the people.
Yes.
Provide you with information regarding
we will
that?
provide with information. How accurate it is, we don't know. But we're told about 3,500 folks repatriated to this camp. We were told they all have electricity, and we did see some wiring, and we still have a school that they're building, but did not have full access. Yes.
When is the new ambassador, supposed to be going to Laos, and how do you think that will affect the situation?
The new ambassador, whom I have not met, she wasn't there when I was there, but she was deputy chief of mission, or has been in the very recent past.
So she's already there, is what you're saying? She's the deputy over there?
She wasn't there when I was there, so I didn't meet her. But Ambassador Huso, whom I think very, very, very highly of, and is very good, speaks Lao, spoke very highly of her. And she, again, is someone who was deputy chief of mission in Laos, so I think there'll be tremendous continuity. So she was Huso's second in command. And so the continuity will be there. He will obviously be discussing that trip. I will be talking to her once she's in, and I think that'll be quite simple.
Do you have her name?
Karen Stewart.
Karen Stewart.
It's also included in the...
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
On that topic, Senator, I had heard that the new ambassador speaks Lao, and
And with all that experience there, I didn't know if part of the nomination process, if it would discussions would be so that whether there would be some structure to the office or something set up so that you'd be satisfied that the Hmong issues would be dealt with effectively through that office.
Well, again, I think there's great continuity. Huso speaks Lao. I have not met Karen. I didn't ask whether she speaks Lao, but my assumption is that I actually didn't. I have no assumption about it. I don't know whether she does or not, but generally, Laos' mission is where career diplomats who have experience in Southeast Asia are chosen, and it's not a a position that's not usually sought after by it's not a political kind of thing like being ambassador to the Bahamas or something. It's it's not one of those sweet positions, but that tend to go to large contributors or something. As it so happened, I had written a letter to recommend me to ambassador, but they had Mee Moua. Not yes. Good point, Sai. And also not Sai. Who's got a business to run. Because both are retiring from the state legislature, and Karen Stewart's appointment was too far along for that to become a reality. But I talked to Ambassador Huso about that a couple times, including at dinner, and he had met with me in St. Paul when he was here last, and was incredibly impressed and really was enthusiastic about the idea, not just because he believed me would be wonderfully suited and qualified, but because of the sort of the value of someone who was born in Laos being our ambassador to Laos. And so these ambassadorships tend to be in the range of about 3 years, and I will stay in touch with the State Department on this issue, which is I would love to have me be our next ambassador to Laos. Yes.
There were some reports that returnees had escaped back to Thailand. Is there any official verification of that?
I think there are some who have. Yeah.
There are some.
Yeah. That's
Is there a number?
I believe.
Is there a number?
No, I don't. I believe there are a few who have them.
And what's your feeling after the Deputy Minister's visit to America? Is there going to be increased diplomatic relations between Laos and
Well, we have full diplomatic relations. I mean, we do. We have an ambassador there, and we have an embassy, and we have full diplomatic relations. The question will be trade status and those kinds of things. And those are the carrots that I'm talking about.